Hello, this is a tutorial on how to do stats for role-playing like D&D and Pathfinder using a deck of cards. You start with a typical deck of cards and take out all the cards above 6. So you have 4 aces, 4 twos, all the way up to 6, one of each suit, and then add 1 7 back in. It doesn't matter which suit. You shuffle those up, and then you deal 4 cards face down, as I have an example set here. Then the player has an option of taking this number or picking one number and sending it back. The 3 highest cards are used, so in this instance the ace would not be used, and you'd have a 14 for your stat. If they decide to send a card back, say they wanted to try to go high and sent the 2 back, you would put it back in the remaining cards. They would get shuffled and a new card would get dealt down. In this case, they have a 6. So now they have an 18 for that stat. Pretty great, but that's going to taking away most of their high cards right off the bat. But they do get their 18 for their strong stat. All those cards would get set in a separate pile that becomes their discard pile, and you would deal 4 new cards down. In this instance, we have lots of low cards and a 6. The player might decide that now's a good time to try to conserve their higher cards and get a lower dump stat and send the 6 back. They can send 1 card back each round. So if they, this instance, if they sent the 6 back, the deck would get shuffled. A new card would be dealt, and a 1. Again, if the 1 is not used, and in this instance they would end up with a 7 for their stat. Not a good stat, but they're eliminating a lot of their low numbers with that 1 stat. You continue this process for all the stats. So, in this instance, you'd have a 17. The ace would not be used. The 3 highest cards giving you a 17. The player likes that number. They keep that. They don't have to send the card back. All 4 of those cards would go to a discard pile. The deck, in this instance, does not get shuffled. The next 4 cards are dealt. $14. Player, I would send a 4 back, hoping to get something a little better, but if not, a 14 is still good. If they get another lower, then that lower is just not going to get used. So a 3, again, they're still with the 14. The 3 is not going to end up getting used. Those cards, again, are added to the discard pile. 3, 4. And 11, we'll just keep that for time's sake. 6, 4. In this instance, the 2 would not get used, giving them a 13. All those cards get in the discard pile. You will end up with 1 remaining extra card because we added that 7 in, and we use this as bonus HP. So they will have +2 to their starting HP. This is great for level 1 games. It gives the characters a little bit of extra wiggle room, and the DM's a little extra wiggle room also, where you don't have to worry about those easy TPKs at level 1. And in the long run, later game, that +2 or +5 hit points is going to make a significant difference. I personally run a little bit deadlier games, so they often need that few extra hit points, especially starting out. And as you can see, the stats that we ended up with are still pretty standard for a starting character. You have 1 fairly low hit score with your 7, 2 kind of middle average with your 10 and 11, and 2 pretty good ones with the 17 and an 18. I've been using this method both as a player and a DM for several years now. I've had people ask me about it, so decided to make a video so I can start sharing it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this method and will give it a try as well. Thank you.